Hi, today I'm going to show you a game I made. It's called Obstrix. It's a platformer in which you have to jump over obstacles. So I'll show you a little demo first. So we have a little character running here, and what happens is he has to jump over these little boxes. We can hold X to focus, so it kind of slows down the time in the game, kind of giving us time to jump over stuff. You have to be very good at timing it very well. So basically the it's very laggy because I'm using screencast. We are getting the error FPS low. I guess I'll have to work on this. The high score is kept using local storage, which is implemented in a lot of browsers. So basically what happens is, if I get a high score, I'll try now. Alright, we can reset the score by clicking reset score. Okay, so what's gonna happen now? I'm gonna die, get a high score. I'm gonna quit the game, come back, and the high score still remains the same. We can always reset it. Okay. So the boxes are generated I basically created 3 boxes at the very start, and I'll show you in the code in a sec. What happens is these boxes get translated as soon as they go off screen around here. So they get randomized as well when it comes to the difference between the distance difference. Obviously we are using the keyboard inputs here as given here. Up arrow to jump, P for pause, and X for focus. Initially I had a little bar, so if you would hold it for long enough you won't be able to use it, but there was a lot of issues there. When it comes to rounds and levels, this game doesn't have any rounds and levels. It just gradually speeds up, and it keeps speeding on forever. And the game gets extremely hard, but the time resets every time. Okay. Obviously the frame rate is being counted. I pretty much used your code you did in class, and I pretty much tweaked the hell out of it, got rid of unnecessary things, created my own sprites. I still kept the platform because it made my life easier. So basically the platform is actually a single entity. It's not moving left or right, it's just stuck on platform. Its X position isn't moving. And the way I get these boxes to move is just I change their Y values. I mean not value, the left values. So their left value, every frame moves to the left. I have a constant that keeps it, and the constant gets multiplied by another constant, which makes the boxes speed up after a while. Okay. Quickly go here. The game also pauses when you get out of it, and it gives you a little countdown when you come back. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly go here. Okay, and images, I have my own sprite sheet. Here are the explosions, the box, the snail I kept just for testing purposes. I was thinking to use the snail as the boxes itself, the way it moves, but then I thought it was going to be silly. So technically I can actually delete the bullets on the snail. That's the little image I made on Photoshop. These are royalty-free images, by the way. Okay. There's the little character himself, the runner. That's the original background. Okay. So, code. Let's begin. There's quite a few things. I have a variable called score. I don't know why I didn't put it as this dot for some reason it wouldn't let me use this dot. So in a bit more in the middle of the code. So I kept it as score and it worked for some reason. So I have the box moving speed constant. Slow motion energy is removed now. Actually, you'll have to delete it. That was the little bar that would come down the longer you hold the focus. Okay. I only use the runner cells right because he's only moving to right, and I have box cells, which is just one block anyway. We have platform data, box data there. We have 3 positions, so 1, 2, and 3 boxes. I didn't know what this is, so I just kept it there. I can remove it, I presume. So all the movements are still the same. Collide behavior, I think it's more around line 800. There, animate. Most of the things happen here. So basically what I do is to add the score, I say if the snail bait hasn't died, I created a boolean which sets itself to false at the start, but then when the player dies, it just sets it to true. So it just keeps adding. So I had a problem a while ago that the score would keep adding even if the player died. So the best way I could do that is just create a boolean, which actually solved the problem in the first case. There, stop there. Okay, and then I just printed every frame. The speed up method, or the function, basically it speeds up the background velocity and sets the background velocity to the constant here, and the box moving speed gets increased not 1 every frame, so the boxes speed up a little bit every time. Okay. Alright, so most of this happens in the else statement when the game is not paused. All this happens. If the game is paused, none of this happens. All of this stops. So to print the high score over here, I basically just use the local storage get item score, which I actually set at the very bottom. Say where to lose life when the player loses the game. If local storage is less than score, if the score is basically greater than the previous high score, it's gonna set the new score, and then it's gonna draw it there as a high score. There. Okay. So the FPS warning. I tried to fix the issue where after a pause, every pause it would give you a warning, since the frames drop to, I think it's like 3 frames per second, because the frames keep animating for some reason. They don't fully stop. So I just reveal a toast saying FPS for problems might occur for 3000 milliseconds, and I set the color of it to red, which is actually very hard to notice unless it's constant of the FPS style itself, this guy here. Otherwise it's just green. Okay, what else? Yeah, we can pause or resume. Okay, and there's high score data, code structure, version control, screencast. Okay. Let me just quickly check and draw background, turn left, speed up. I already talked about this. Also, I have a little bug. The character sometimes actually doesn't run. His animation doesn't, like here. I actually have to restart the page. There. His animation stops sometimes, like if I jump, like double jump, there. I have to double jump again, or something similar for him to start running again properly. It's kind of weird. I tried to look into the code, I couldn't find it. I might remove shake because when it comes to me scrolling and speeding up the background, this becomes redundant anyway. Also, once the player loses, the background velocity becomes 0. Everything stops, so the character doesn't keep running after death, or the screen doesn't keep running after death. I'm on here. I access each cube. So that's the first cube, second cube, third cube, fourth cube, and I reset its initial positions. Also at the very start, for some reason the character wouldn't move. I guess that was another glitch, and I just initiated a right movement every time the game would restart, and the score would reset as well. Everything resets. Okay. So I have 3 event listeners for key down and key up, because we have key X, and we need to determine when it's pressed or released. KP is just letter P to toggle pause, and up is to jump. But KX, key X on the keyboard, if you press it down, the time of the game goes to 0.5, so half the time. If released, it just goes back to normal, and the rest stays untouched. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Just kind of I kept some of these things. I deleted bounce and cycle because I found them redundant. I have my own font styles in CSS. Background image, I just downloaded to make it look nice, and just made some quite minor changes in the CSS. Now, version control. I've been using GitHub. I had a problem with Bitbucket. What happened was I had to transport all my data from Bitbucket to GitHub, and I did it only quite a few days ago. 5 days, as you see. But otherwise, everything is still here. I did a few changes right before making the video. Just add some static things into this, static values, updates, I guess. I made 24 commits since. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And so that's my game. Its name is Obstrix, and thank you very much.